late, whatever.
And usually it's better than the plan, so
yes.
It's fine.
Yes. So we're talking about first time posts and what you can really do with like Damaris posting and having tons of engagement, having tons of fans, you know, people that are supporting you. But that, right, what Adiana said is perfect, because honestly, that is a perfect way to segue into just building relationships, connecting with people maybe that you haven't talked to in months, years, you know, whatever the case may be. And it could go something like, hey, I just wanted to thank you so much for your love and your support on my post. It really means a lot to me. And then just go into like, how have you been? Hopefully you haven't been affected in this crazy season physically and financially. Look forward to hearing back from you. Okay. And just, it's such a natural, easy way to start a conversation that's not weird, that's not salesy. And you'll be surprised, some of these people, because you had a lot of engagement. I mean, you had like 70, 80, 90 likes, loves.
Yeah.
And you're going to be surprised that out of all of those people, you're probably going to find a handful of them, probably maybe more, that will say back, hey, no problem. It was inspiring to me. I've actually been thinking about losing weight, and I've actually had specific goals that I've been wanting to accomplish. And honestly, I'd be curious to know more about what it is that you're doing, you know, just by asking and reaching out simply, because sometimes people, like Adiana said, they're a little bit more private. They don't want to comment like, oh, more information. So they need that personal touch for somebody to actually reach out and to be like, hey.
I did have a couple of like 3 girls that called me yesterday, I think it was, and they were like, what are you up to? Like, what is this? Like all this exercising, what are you drinking? What are you doing? And then I mentioned, I presented you guys, you know, like how I met you guys, how I met Jeannie, and they were like, So like, and I left it at that because like you said, just warming the field. So I'll probably have to do now that what you just said, you know, reaching out, hey, about that conversation that you asked me, you know, kind of like, you know, putting a little bit of more seed into it.
Yeah. And you can easily, and like the script, if everybody, I think I shared them last time and I shared them with you as well too, Damaris, but you can easily just say, hey, listen, I watched a video when I first started. I'd be more than happy to kind of share the video as to what this is all about, you know, and, you know, just follow that as a guideline to set up, you know, a time to connect, you know, because it's all about them. You know, and it's so super easy and natural to really just say, hey, they sent me this video. This is what I watched. Hey, I know you're going to have questions, but I know people that are going to have answers who are my good friends that coached me through this. You know, I'd like to introduce you to them so you can get your questions answered accurately. And, you know, it's just so simple and natural. But yes, I commend you for that. And again, too, you know, sometimes like we were saying too, if you guys post, I think when I first did a post, mine was completely wrong. You want to know what I did? I actually looked back and I saw this come up on a memory a while, you know, this year in April for my first post. I don't even know if you know this. I posted like 30 because I only ordered.
Was it Isogenics or?
It was Isogenics related. But I told Herb that, hey, listen, I'm going to get paid in about 2 weeks. And until I actually get this was out when I was in real estate, until I actually get that check, I can't really get much. I can only get a few things. And so I ended up just buying like a few products that night after this epic overview and epic talk with Herb. And I could kind of see his heart kind of, you know, just drop a little bit. But I was like, I will be back. I promise I'm going to get 2 value packs. And we did. But in the meantime, I only got like 4 things. And I ended up, for my post, I had a picture with like an Isogenics product, like a Body Fortress, like creatine, like an Optimum Nutrition, amino acid. Like it was bad, guys. It was bad. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, this is my stack, you know, ask me about it, you know? But little did I know, I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked back at it, I was just like, what was I thinking? Like it was like an SMH, smack my head moment, you know? But that's how we started. We all had to figure this out. And so our goal is to,
we also thought that we had to know every, like, in the ins and outs of every product.
yeah.
And hence why we're so educated on them now. But we really did think that, like, the answer to this was knowing, being experts on the products, which is not true.
No.
At all.
No. It's all about your excitement. It's all about your posture. It's all about your confidence. It's all about how you portray this to be, because that's what people buy into. People don't buy into you. They buy into your belief of what you know this to be. But yes. So all of those are good nuggets. If you don't get any action, if you don't get any likes or comments, just know that there are people watching, that there are people that read your post, that saw your post, regardless of if they hit like or not. And many times people that stick around for the long run are people that take a little bit longer to actually reach out to you, or you to reach out to them and finally be ready to do this, because they've had some time to watch, they've had some time to research. And those are usually the people that are like, I'm ready to go, and they're here to stay. So just know that as well too.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Even the video that I posted last week, which got a lot of viewers, I would say probably less than 10% hit like the like emoji. So people are watching. I mean, it got over, it was well over 1,000 views. Wow. But again, not everyone, and I'm guilty of it too. I'll watch videos and I won't, I'm so engrossed in the video that I'll forget to comment or to like it, because then I moved on to something else. So
that's exactly it.
So it's, we do it too. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Beth, Blake, I just connected with them as well too.
Yeah, wanted to catch up.
Who wants to go first? Who's unmuting themselves first? I think it's going to be, can I get
1, 2, 3, and
maybe not. No, we thought it was.
Okay. Cool. Maybe they can't hop on right now.
Yeah. All good.
So hopefully you guys can fill us in on how things are going for you guys.
Do it in the chat if you want to.
Or do it in the chat.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. We got a lot of things that we want to cover tonight. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good things as to how we can help you explode your business for this challenge by getting you accountability partners. Again, sometimes finding customers can be tough, but finding accountability partners is typically rather easy, right? Because we are in a society, we are in a world where we love to do things together with people. Regardless if it's going to a restaurant for the first time, we generally don't need to try out a restaurant or to see a movie before we go to see it with somebody else, right? So doing this nutrition should be the exact same way.
Or inviting someone to go see it.
Yeah, exactly. So, when it comes to that, we're just natural sharers, regardless. And so this is nothing different. And when it comes to having a group, like a 30-day accountability group, it's just natural because you're sharing your excitement through your journey of what you've already experienced. It's not so much about like, hey, this is the accountability group. It's happening on September 14th. We're going to be in this private group, fitness trainers, workouts, nutrition plan. That's the what, which is awesome, and the how, but people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. And so I want you to remember that, because people buy into you. If you're excited, if you're like, oh my gosh, I've had great results so far. I have an amazing energy that I haven't had in the last 10 years to be able to play with my kids. I've lost, 5 pounds, 10 sticky pounds that I wasn't able to get off my body before this. And I'm so excited for this 30-day accountability group coming up to take things to a new level. I'm actually looking for a couple of accountability partners. I'm just curious. I'm not sure if you have fitness goals or health goals, but is that something, what do you think? Would you like to be my partner? Like, would you like to do this with me? And then it's just natural, because then it's like, oh, wow, you're excited about it. They hear you've already gotten results. They see that it's worked for you.
They won't be alone.
Exactly. You won't be alone. And it's like, now it's not about doing this as, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to join this accountability group? It's like, hey, let's do this together. Let's do this together. Let's go at this together. Hey, you got fitness goals? Me too. Let's bring it on. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You really gotta, hype them up.
Yeah.
And show your excitement, of course. The one thing I was going to say is that when, inviting them to the challenge, you want to make sure too that, we're listening to their goals. And I know that that's what we're going to lead into with kind of the step-by-step process of the challenge group, so that you guys can be more successful when it comes to kind of the know-how. Because first of all, we have to get them interested, right? See if they are interested. And then we need to know what to do once they are, right? So I know that that's kind of the flow that we're going to go through, right?
Yeah, totally. And I saw that Blake said, what if they see you something else, like ministry guy like me? That's cool. Because honestly, this isn't about where, backgrounds of who anybody is. I mean, this is like,
it's also like who you're becoming.
Yeah. But
we're all sort of evolving.
Yeah. But Blake, you don't go out, just to lunch, or you don't go see a movie with just ministry guys. Like, you probably have other guys that are running guys, or that are, in other groups.
Or people you went to school with.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the exact same thing. It doesn't matter about background. It's like fitness, health, and wellness is kind of a universal language, right? Everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to be fit. Everybody wants to feel good in their clothes. Everybody wants to be confident in their own skin. So that's what this is about. It's like, hey, you got goals, I got goals. Let's do this together. Be my accountability partner. So that's kind of, what we're going to be setting up.
And I think too, think about the people who go challenge to challenge with us, including you guys, right? People, once they commit to their first challenge, and they really understand and appreciate the value that they get from being with a group of people that will help them stay on track and be able to sustain a lifestyle solution. That's why people come back challenge after challenge, because they experience what it's like to live out this lifestyle and be supported by people like us. So, that's why we've been blown away by the amount of people who are really up for doing it again and again and again. It's like, it doesn't really get old. And in fact, most people, are saddened when it's over, right? It's like, well, now what? Now I'm on my own, So that's why we're excited about it, because we love seeing the excitement and people being ready to get back at it as well. So,
yeah. And so when it comes to just reaching out to people, don't be weird, be a human. And if somebody comes to you, and I guarantee this is in your head, but if for some odd reason you feel like, hey, it's just not authentic for me to maybe say specific things, or to be maybe overly energized, honestly, this is a common thing that has happened to me as well too in the very beginning. But my honest opinion and my belief is, who is somebody else to tell you who you are? Do they truly know you? Do they know the impact that this has had on your life? And the answer is no. And if they judge you because of that, love and release, bless and release. You can literally just do a takeaway at that point. They're not your people. However, you're going to find that most people are going to be attracted to that kind of energy. They're going to, because let's just be real, we're kind of in a very low type of energized world right now that's wondering what's happening. And so people are more magnetic to people that are hopeful, that are excited about something moving forward, regardless of who it is or how real it feels, right? They just want something to feel excited about.
And I think it's normal in the beginning to have kind of those preconceived notions about how people will receive us, how this will be received.
Totally. Totally.
Or
it's natural.
Yeah. Or anything that you would have said, right? It's easy to make assumptions about people. Oh, they probably don't need this. They make plenty of money, or, or they've already, probably are in a fitness routine, or, gosh, I haven't, reached out to them in a long time, so it's going to be really weird for me to reach out, or whatever. And that's normal to feel that way. I mean, we feel that way sometimes on occasion, and then we have to quickly go, no.
Yeah.
You know, we can't decide for them. So let them be the one to make an educated decision about whether this is right for them or not. So
yeah. And so this is what I'm just going to give you guys like a couple different things that I've used to really just reach out to somebody. If it's somebody that I haven't talked to in quite a while, that's why I've been hearing like, hey, how do I reach out to somebody without it sounding weird if I haven't talked to them in quite some time? Well, there's honestly some pretty simple ways to do it. I have some quick texts that I use that make it super easy for me to actually have text messages on go, ready to pretty much just send out. So I personalized this one. This is one of them. So it pretty much just says, you know, hey, so-and-so was editing my friends list and saw you. So that's honestly like, hey, I'm not unfriending you. I'm actually excited that you're on my friends list still. That's kind of like what I've used. Figured I'd reach out. Are you guys doing okay during this season? Hopefully you haven't really been affected physically or financially by this. Looking forward to hearing back. Something super, super simple, quick and easy to the point, but showing that I care about them, which is honestly important because obviously people don't care about how much you know. They care about until they know how much you care. So I always love on people. I want to know genuinely, like, this is just who we are. We just want to make sure people are okay. This isn't a sales tactic. This is just building relationship and keeping relationships tighter. And so you'll get a variety of different messages back. Sometimes people need a second to answer back to this one because first thing is I pretty much ask them, you know, kind of like more in-depth question. So it might call for a more in-depth answer. And that's okay. You know, so sometimes I find that people maybe take a day or two to get back to me, which is fine. But
right, especially if they're reading it and they're in the middle of something and they want to get back to you and answer you, you know what I mean, with a, you know, a hearty message, they might, you know, need to wait, you know, till they actually have the time to sit down and do it. Exactly.
So it's just about sending something. And that's just an example. Like you could literally just say, hey, you know, I saw that you guys were just on vacation. Where were you guys on vacation at? Hey, how have you guys been doing? It's been a while since we last spoke. Just ask a question, you know, just start a conversation and a relationship will happen. You know, some people you might have that say good thanks, you know, or good, hope you are, you know, they're just super straight shooters to the point. And those people are
How you
cool.
doing? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And it's not necessarily because they want to be short with you. It's just maybe because they are not technologically savvy or they're busy or, you know, Blake says too flat. But again, it might just be who they are. They don't know any better. And, you know, we've talked to several people like this last couple of days that are actually on our team or as customers, and they're just very quick, easy, to the point. You know, it's just like, hey, I'm doing well, thanks. You know, hey, yeah, everything's going good. And it's like, you really have to kind of draw it out of them, which is fine. But you're going to have a lot of other people that say, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. It's been a crazy time for sure, but we're definitely hanging in there. And most people are going to ask you back, how are you doing? How are you guys doing? And I've literally been pretty much saying something along the lines of, you know, oh, I'm so great. First of all, acknowledge what they just said. You know, it's so easy to be like, oh, good. By the way, here's what I'm about to go into, right? You know, it's so easy just to go right into what we're about to say. But I challenge you to really just hear them and to acknowledge them. Say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys are doing well during this time. You know, I've had some friends and family members that aren't, but it makes me so happy to hear that you guys are doing well. You know, and so great to hear, you know, thank you so much for checking in. Everything's actually really great with us. I'm really excited about this 30-day accountability group coming up that I've gotten stellar results with this nutrition plan that I've been using for the last blank months, blank years. And I'm ready to take my health and fitness to a whole new level, upcoming accountability group. And, you know, by the way, I'm not sure, you may or may not have fitness goals, but I'm looking for just a couple accountability partners to do this with me. You know, in fact, just curious, do you have health and fitness goals that you're working towards right now? Maybe we could do it together, you know, and then just let them respond. You know, if they ghost you, cool. Because that gives you a chance to follow up with them in the next couple of days and say, hey, so-and-so, I know we're both super busy. I totally get it. You know, would love to hear your thoughts back to that last message. I could definitely see us crushing it together, but totally cool either way. I look forward to remaining connected regardless. Something so simple where it's still like loving on that person. You're excited to maybe do this with that person because you both may have results. You have or have goals. So, you know, we have goals, they might have goals. And if that's, you know, the case, doing it together, that's exciting, right? And
right,
so,
especially when it's said that, you know, 85 to 95% of people get better results when they have accountability.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, you could even mention something like that, you know, I'm going to have greater, you know, success. We're going to have greater success if we do this together.
Yeah. And if you share your lifestyle, and Isagenix is part of your lifestyle, it should not be separate. Many people might come back to you and say, hey, I've actually been watching you online. You know, I've actually been meaning to just ask you more, you know, a little bit more about what it is exactly. What does it entail? Or you might have some people that say, hey, I've had people do Isagenix before. I have good friends, or I've done Isagenix before. It just wasn't for me. You know, or, you know, hey, I don't really have any fitness goals right now. Thanks for asking, which is fine. You know, it's cool. It's like, you know, literally just handing somebody a piece of gum. And if they take it, great. If not, totally cool. But it's something. And honestly, that's literally the invite. You just ask them. If they say no, great. Totally cool. Just say, hey, totally cool. Figured, you know, since we were just talking, I'm sure I'm going to find a couple accountability partners, but I wanted to make sure that you were one of the first that I asked, you know, being who you are, if they're like a good friend, family member, or something like that. So then it kind of creates a sense of urgency, FOMO, like maybe I should take them up on this. But yes, when they do say, hey, I'd like some more information, or hey, yeah, that would actually sounds pretty good. I've been meaning to lose these last 10 sticky pounds and I can't seem to get it off. I've tried everything underneath the sun, you know, and just can't seem to do it. It's funny and ironic that you just so happen to reach out to me about a 30-day accountability group. So what happens next? And that's really honestly what we're going to be doing and helping you guys with as well too, and kind of creating a couple things that are going to help with that, right?
Oh yeah.
So what we're going to do is literally, we're going to make a simple tool, a questionnaire that's similar to the one that we already have. And Adiana and I will create like a short 3 to 5 minute video, like just a very short video explaining a little bit about, you know, we're so excited to connect with them. We hope to meet them in person one day or during this challenge. But in the meantime, we want to give you the meats and potatoes as to what this is all about. And we want to share a little bit more of like, obviously the results, you know, probably putting the results that people have achieved in the forefront of it and pretty much just inserting them into the video so that people can actually see results. And at the same time too, we want to make sure that we let them know what this is all about and really honestly what they're probably pretty much going to need to some extent. Maybe not prices right from the get-go. We'll have them do the questionnaire because it's so easy, you know, if you share prices too early, when somebody's already going to Starbucks and getting like, you know, a triple frappuccino and, you know, they're already drinking protein shakes that they have to add like banana and almond butter and chia seeds and greens and,
yeah,
you know, all this stuff that's costing them probably $7 or $8 per smoothie anyways.
Or more.
Yeah, exactly. So we get to have that conversation with them. And so this questionnaire makes it super easy to see what this challenge is going to be. And if they're open to it, they can just simply just fill it out. And from there, we'll set up a call. They'll already know who we are because we're the ones in the video. And after they submit it, you can literally just say, hey, you know, I saw that you submitted the questionnaire. I'm excited for you to learn more about this as well too, and potentially do this together with me. you know, and again, I know you're going to have questions. And so the people that were in this video are the exact people that have helped me get these results. And so I want to make sure that your questions get answered by them being the professionals. So I'm going to connect us and make sure that you get your questions answered. I'm going to connect us so that you can meet them personally. And just literally, it's as simple as connecting us in a 3-way message and just saying, hey, Nick, this is my, you know, Nick, Adriana, this is my good friend, Maria. You know, Maria has been watching me for a little while now. She has 10 pounds that she's really been determined to lose, but can't seem to lose it. You know, just kind of, you know, you don't even have to give us that much insight, but
we're going to have the, you know,
yeah,
the questionnaire anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may or may not know that we get the questionnaire, which is fine. Yeah. But yeah, just introduce us, you know, just like people, you know, you can just say, hey, this is my good friend from college, you know, that we talked, you know, 20 years ago. It's been a while.
And just remember, that's mostly for third-party validation.
Totally.
As well as, it's just because we've just been doing this a little bit longer, right? And practicing more. Because ultimately, you guys are going to be doing this with your teammates.
Yeah.
So it's just good for you to be on the call, just to listen to the verbiage, just like we had to do when we first started. And we had to just plug in and listen, and it just, so that it became part of who we were. And it just came out with ease. Yeah. So not because we're you know, great beings over here and we know everything, not at all. It's just, you know, we've just, you know, had a little bit more experience with just doing it over and over. Yeah. Right. And listening to a lot of people do it.
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Right.
Farmers. Okay. Sorry. Focus.
So yeah, and some of you have already been using the goal assessment, which is awesome. And I think, you know, it's been working really well for us, and partially because, like Nick mentioned, you know, before, is people already know what we do, right? It's not necessarily a secret. And just because we've been consistent, right, over the last four plus years. So it's easy for us to just send them a goal assessment and then set up a call, because they already have at least some idea of what they're asking about, right? So, and it's been very easy to be able to make that transition, and we've been enrolling quite a few people in that manner. However, what Nick is saying, we're adding an extra layer to that to help you guys make the transition from like, oh my gosh, I'm interested. And you know how most people are, they're going to be like, well, what does it entail? How much does it cost? Right? Those kind of questions. We want to be able to address them in a short video that shows that excitement. And then if they're like, ooh, this sounds really awesome, I'll fill out the questionnaire, right? Yeah. And then from there, once we get the questionnaire, then we can set up a time to do a 3-way call. So it's just an extra layer, but it'll work nicely specifically for this challenge, so that it can get some of their questions answered, as opposed to you enrolling someone during a non-challenge period where you're mostly talking about the nutrition, right? So then obviously we have tools like the Isogenics Advantage video, and certainly we can use the assessment, but this will be specifically for the challenge to help you bridge the gap and help all of us, really. So, because we'll be sending out the same thing. It's going to help us too. So. And
we're going to be putting together, maybe not in time for this challenge. I mean, it's pretty much done at this point, but I have a PDF that we've created called the Discovery Process, which goes over the entire call of pretty much what we do when it comes to having these conversations with individuals. Now, granted, we interject like a little bit of our expertise and stuff like that, but by all means, we usually stick to a specific script. And, you know, sometimes we don't stick to the actual format because ultimately, you know, everybody's different, right? Sometimes we're going to skip to another section. We're going to
based on what they answered previously.
And so you just never know sometimes, you know, but it's never usually step 1. Here's the question you're going to ask. Step 2, here's what you're going to say. Step 3. So it's sometimes a little all over the place. But it's just a guideline, more than anything. And you're going to, you know, as we do them, we're going to put this together, and we'll do calls together with your people and even with our people. We'll start asking you guys like, hey, are you available this, you know, in the next 2 hours to do a quick 3-way call just to listen and to hear us, you know, how we connect and communicate with somebody. And the more that you start to hear it, the more it's going to start to become natural, because that's honestly what tends to happen. The more you start to do them, the more, I guess, what's the word that it's like naturalized? That's the word that comes to mind, even though that's not even a word.
I'm not sure.
But anyways, it becomes just easier and more simple. It doesn't become so like you get anxious. Like I remember, it's kind of like working out, right? When you work out for the first couple times, first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever the case may be, you get super sore, you know, your first time, couple times you use pre-workout, you get so fired up, and then it becomes starting to like a little more even keel.
You start to itch.
Yeah, right. That's exactly how this becomes. It becomes just a lot more natural as to like, you know, what tends to happen. So you're just talking to other human beings, you know, and you're making it all about them. So, and if they cut you off and they're just like, hey, it's not something I'm open to, you know, thanks anyways, then cool. You know, at least they gave us some of their time. That's fine, you know?
Yeah. So a good tool that we started to use was obviously the feedback, right? Polls, whether it's on your stories, you know, like for people wanting more information. So had that, adding that poll question. Nick does that a lot. I did it today for the challenge specifically, but then also we did a poll on feedback on our Fueled page. And obviously we were looking for, you know, what people were wanting to do again, or what they were interested in. So then we reached out, I went through that list, and we reached out to those folks that expressed that interest, whether they're already customers, many of them were. But we also had some new folks, people that we brought onto the pages. And then if there was anyone on that list, I reached out to you guys to let you know, hey, so-and-so, your customer, you know, gave some feedback and was maybe interested, and that's an opportunity to reach out to them. So polls in general were very helpful to steer, number one, obviously get interest, what people want, right? What's in demand, but also a way for you to get maybe some engagement, to be able to reach out to people who see your stories and, you know, want more information. So, and not like, hey, would you like, you know, more information? Yes or no. I mean, we don't want to do that. We want to always lead to a yes in either way. Yes, absolutely. More info, please, would be the second response. So we want to keep it positive. So either way, some people will hit the button by accident, because they're flipping around. Which is perfect, because that's a great way to still reach out to somebody. Yeah, you'll still reach out. And if they just say, oh, I didn't mean to hit that button, but, you know. Yeah, you can be like, cool, actually, been a while since we last talked. How have you been? Hope you haven't been affected during this time physically or financially. What's going on? What's new and exciting with you? Tell me all about you. What's new and exciting with you? You know, just start a conversation, however that looks. Build rapport. The second thing was going back to people who were in previous challenges. So that was basically my next assignment today. Is I went through all of the names from the last 3 challenges that we've had during COVID. And we've done 3, can you believe it? Wow. 2 shorties and a 30-day. Shorties. You're a shorty. And then we had one even in January, the Be Bold, and Build Biceps. Yeah. So, but anyway, I went back through those names, and then I created a text message that basically was letting them know, you know, hey, you know, been thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. I didn't want this to I thought for a minute Beth was in the shower. I just saw the ceiling. Sorry, Beth. She got the baby. She got a happy baby though. Or was I? You know, I didn't want this to pass you by, but you know, here, I'll read it really quick, actually. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm waving and stuff like that. Yeah. didn't want to see this pass you by if you could really benefit from having some additional accountability right now, meal planning, workouts with a core focus, coaching, and just plain fun with our upcoming 30-day Rock to the Core challenge starting September 14th. Lots of excited people jumping on board. Join us. These were folks who were in previous challenges.
Yeah.
And so you can do the same thing. You had folks in previous challenges. You can go back to them and let them know that you're going to be doing another one and you love to have some accountability. And that was the long list that I went through. And already I've had quite a few people say, yes, add me, you know, I want in, which is awesome, which is then, what is that going to lead to? That's going to lead to people re-upping, like maybe they got off track. Maybe they haven't ordered in the last month or two. So that's going to allow them to sort of, you know, refill their baskets, get back on board. And then that BV is going to be for all of us to enjoy, right? And the goal is over time is, right, we're creating those customers for life.
Yeah.
That BV that we start to accumulate is leading to that residual income that we're all working towards.
Totally.
Right? That future freedom.
Exactly.
So then my third project, which will be tomorrow, which is for me to go through our customers. Maybe those who haven't ordered in a while, maybe, or current customers who've never done a challenge with us. You know, to go through that list and invite them to the challenge. And then, of course, you know, outside of the challenge is the IsoBody challenge, right?
Yeah.
So going through that list and making sure that all of our customers, you know, get on the IsoBody challenge if they're not already.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Like, it's such a no-brainer, especially because people like end up really committing to this lifestyle. And sometimes it's so hard to get them to join the IsoBody challenge. And then 4 months go by and they could have already received a voucher.
Yeah.
Which is a real bummer.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's important to keep them engaged as well.
And so, yes, that's so awesome. So anybody that has customers already, family, friends, relatives.
Yeah, whether you got 2 customers or 40 customers, whatever.
Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, reach out to them. But if you don't and you feel like, hey, I'm looking for new customers, again, I want to share something simple that, you know, you can use that, you know, can really just help draw up a little bit of maybe curiosity after that last message that I shared with you. Obviously, acknowledging them, acknowledge what they just shared with you. Sometimes it might be personal. So make sure that you take maybe an extra message just to address that first, just to build that rapport. Because obviously if somebody lost, you know, a friend or a loved one, or if they lost, like, you know, both lost their jobs, may not be right to go right into like, hey, you know, I'm actually doing this nutrition protocol, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Babe, can they see this?
Yes.
Up, or do they have to go into their chat?
Yeah. If you go into your chat, I literally put together a secondary message that you can say. That's which is pretty much like, you know, hey, so may or may not be your thing. You're already giving them an out. That's what I love about it. May or may not be your thing, but personally, I've been getting some incredible results and have amazing energy with the cellular nutrition protocol that I've been doing for a blank amount of time. And now I'm getting ready for an upcoming accountability group. And I'm looking for just a few accountability partners to get results with. Again, not sure if you have any specific goals you're working towards, but if you do, I think it would be great if we could hold one another accountable. What do you think?
Guys, copy this into your notes.
So
you have it.
Simple. If you're able to copy, if not, then I'll put it in afterwards.
Yeah, totally.
But it's just so simple. It's not like, you know, hey, would you be open to it? Because would you really say that to a friend? Like, think about it. Hey, would you, you know, are you open to getting results in a 30-day accountability group? Doesn't sound natural. But if you just ask the simple question of, you know, first and foremost, and the same question, may or may not be your thing, but it's been my thing. I've been getting great results, you know, and just asking simply, what do you think? Get their thoughts on it. Don't try to steer them, see what they think, because they might think it's a great idea. They might think it's so stupid that they're like so great with just sitting on the couch doing nothing. That's fine. But most important thing that you do is you ask the question to give them a chance to say yes or no. And if they ghost you, that is fine. We get ghosted all the time, especially with messages like this that require a little bit of thinking, a little bit more of a reply, and that is totally normal. You're not alone.
Well, remember, they're also going through that whole spiel of, I don't know if I have the discipline to commit to a 30-day, and oh my gosh, I have a vacation coming up, and so there's a lot of things that they're thinking about, or gosh, I don't get paid until this day or whatever.
Yeah. And something as simple as like, I set a follow-up always for 2 days later after I send this message, regardless of if they've, reached back out or not, because I want to make sure that I don't just send this message and leave it at that, just thinking like, oh, they're not interested because they ghosted me. No, it's usually not the case. It's more of like, people are busy. People probably didn't have a chance to read it and really just thoroughly understand what you're doing and what you're asking them to do, potentially. And so by reaching out, by simply saying something along the lines of like, hey, so-and-so, hey, I totally get it. We're both super busy. But I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on the message above? Something very, very simple, very relaxed. You're being professional. You're not being pushy. You're acknowledging that you're both busy, and you get that, but you're just asking, what are their thoughts? It's not like you're pushing them into it. Like, you should do this. You should do this. Come on, let's do this. Come on. Give me your credit card so we can do this together. It's literally like, hey, have you had a chance to check out the message that I sent you? So it's very, very natural. If they still ghost you, which happens a lot too for us, you're not alone if that's happening to you. Mm-hmm. You can say something along the lines of like, hey, so-and-so, I totally get it. May or may not be your thing, but I just am so thrilled and so excited about the results that I've been getting these last blank months, blank years. And I really honestly, can't really stay quiet about it. It's just something that I truly believe in, and I feel like everybody needs to experience. But totally cool either way if it's not your thing. Hope your day is awesome. Blessings to you and your family. Look forward to hearing back from you. Again, I didn't script it, but it's just something that's natural, like kind of taking it away, but just reminding them of what it's done for you and why you're so excited about it. Again, sharing your excitement and your passion, because people get FOMO. If they hear you're getting results and you're excited about something and they're not excited about anything, they're not getting results. So chances are they may or may not respond back to that. But honestly, if they don't respond back to that, sometimes I put it on me. Like, I kind of do like 3 strikes and I'm out. Mm-hmm. So I'll literally maybe follow up with that person. If they still ghost me, I still see they read the messages, and I'll say something along the lines of like, hey, so-and-so, I just want to be honest with you. I'm not sure if I offended you, or I'm not sure if it was something that I said that made you, maybe feel a certain way. But if that was the case at all, I just wanted to say, I apologize. And I did not mean to make you feel that way. I'm just really excited about this accountability group that's coming up. And, it's probably not for you at this point, but, for some odd reason it is, let me know. But either way, I am so glad that we are connected and that we've remained connected over the years. I look forward to, remaining connected for many more. Something so simple. So you're already taking it away. You're already saying, like, you're putting it on, is it me sort of script, because let's just be real here. We all know that it's not you, it's them. And they know it's them. And they probably will most likely respond back because they want you to know it wasn't you. You catch my drift on that? So they know it wasn't you. They know it's them, but they're going to probably respond back to you because they know it was them and not you. So that message is super, super effective. If you say like, hey, I don't know if I said something to offend you, but I just want to apologize. Probably not your thing, since, at this point, but I'm so glad that we remain connected, for this many years, this many months, whatever, or just over time. And I'm very, very glad to be connected with you for many more. So you end with a positive note, because all in all, people will never remember, what you said or what you do, but people will remember how you made them feel. And if you come back at them and say, hey, you haven't answered back to my messages, I know you saw that, with like the eyes emoji, might work for some people, but most of the time it's going to make some people feel a little threatened, and they're probably not going to want to do anything with you, regardless of if it's now or in the future. So always, it's most important that we keep our friendships intact. And if we can do anything, make them better, and just, I sometimes will end like, hey, it's not your thing. Totally cool. Do you have any prayer requests? I'm just curious. I'd love to pray for you and your family in some way. If there's something that's on your heart, please let me know. Something like that is so simple, guys. Mm-hmm. And it really lifts people up to know that, hey, this isn't about a transaction. This is about a relationship that we're cultivating. So hopefully that was helpful. That is literally like invitation connecting 101. That's all we do. Literally, that's all we do. We literally send that first message asking a question. We send the second message, whether it's about a challenge, whether it's about the products, whether it's about the opportunity, or both. We either get a response back and move back to the next stage, or we continue to follow up, usually 3 times. Usually it's 2 days for the next follow-up. Usually after that, I typically will do it, 4 to 7 days after that. And then usually after, that initial one, if they still haven't responded, I usually wait about, most cases 2 weeks, but in obviously this case, it's time sensitive. And so we obviously have to be a little bit more punctual with our follow-ups. So keep that in mind.
And I would say, keep in mind that, we're coming up on Labor Day weekend. People are probably going to start getting busy with, going out of town or just, weekend plans. So, time is of the essence. Mm-hmm. Tonight, tomorrow, Thursday should be your biggest days to really commit to sending out messages, obviously being consistent on posting and stories and things like that, reaching out to people, because we're probably going to hit a dry spell come Friday to Monday.
We won't speak it into existence, but it's
right. But just know that, right? Like, people may not be quick to get back to you during those times.
Yeah.
And then we're going to need to hit it hard again next Tuesday through, we'll run it, like, we'll still be enrolling people even on Sunday, the day before the challenge starts.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
Those are usually big times too. The weekend before, because it's like, oh wow, I gotta make a decision fast. You know, and especially if you word it in a way where it's like, hey, it's filling up so fast. I don't even know if there's even spots left right now, but if you're really interested and you're really committed, like, I'll see if I can get you in.
You got to create that FOMO.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's fun too, because then it's not like you don't feel salesy. You feel like they're coming to you and they're being like, all right, I'll let you know. All right, let's get on the phone. Let's connect. I want to learn more about this. All right, cool. Let me make sure I can get my products.
I mean, we still don't have everyone that is accepted, like they've been put in because they expressed interest. But I mean, we're already at like 50 plus people.
Yeah.
Easy. In for the challenge. So
we'll be over 100.
Including obviously our team and then our customers. So we're those numbers are going to spike up for sure, but let's do our part to get them in. But yeah, we're going to enroll until the last moment. And if they start a couple days late, no problem. You know why? Because we're going to, and I don't know if I shared this with you guys last week, but we're going to be doing the double back-to-back cleansing in weeks 2 and 4. Mm-hmm. So cool. They start their shake days on Wednesday. If they get their products later, Thursday, no big deal. They're not missing, our secret weapon section. So, they're going to get it in week 2 and 4, and we're going to finish strong in week 4.
Yeah.
So, I'd say we got time.
And so this is literally the picture perfect time for you guys to find not only accountability partners, but this is the picture perfect time for you to get a couple customers and a couple people to do this with you and to have an amazing experience. Because people that have an amazing experience, people that are going through even one of these challenges, it's a lot more exciting to continue because we had such a great first impression. So I encourage you that now, I mean, this, I don't want to say this in a kind of like a weird way, but this should be so much easier to get people started than without a challenge, right? Because there's no sense of urgency. This is more of a community coming together. People are lacking community right now. They're wanting to feel part of something. They're probably definitely feeling like, you know, hey, I got to get back in the gym. Hey, I got to do something, you know? So they're looking for some sort of schedule, especially now that gyms are starting to open, at least in North Carolina. So this should become something that is just natural. It shouldn't be viewed as hard. Honestly, I would shoot for 5 people to be your accountability partners. I think we said that last week. Yeah.
The goal would be 5.
But ideally, just go for 2 or 3. You know, if we all brought in 2 or 3 people together, I mean, we would have so many more people, not only even in our challenge group, but we would all benefit from one another's people there on out, because all of these people would benefit from their orders. They would benefit each and every one of us most of the time being on that same team. So just know that as well too.
Yeah. And the other thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about going back to the customers, going back to the people who've done our previous challenges, is to now I have an open door to ask them, hey, you've been a part of our previous challenge.
Yeah,
you've got amazing results.
Yeah.
Would you be open to sharing a post so that you too can find accountability buddies? And most people are pretty open to do so. And even if they don't feel comfortable sharing their 11-day shred photos or their 30-day photos, so what? Get them to you know, share a glamour shot. But the text will hopefully do some work for them. And then they can, you know, we've mentioned before, several of our customers from previous challenges have found 2 accountability partners, have, you know, become consultants because of that. So that's the other thing is now asking, you know, those people to share, but then also to even just ask them, hey, you know, do you have 2 people that for sure would want to do this with you?
Yeah.
So, and new customers, we got to plant that seed as we're talking and enrolling our customers, right?
Yeah.
So that they can come in with some additional accountability, whether it's their spouse, you know, and a friend or, you know, or 2 coworkers, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, the accountability.
And even if it comes down to it, no shame in this. I've done this before as well too. If you get to the point where you're just like, you have a best friend, you have a parent, you have a mom, dad, somebody that would do anything for you, literally just be like, hey mom, hey dad, hey brother, hey friend, whatever the case may be, I'm doing this upcoming accountability group and I need some support. I need some accountability. I need somebody to do it with me. You know, can you do it with me? Would you be my friend? Would you just do this with me? You know, and I've done that before. And most of the time they'll be like, all right, what does it entail? You know, and they'll hear you out. And then, you know, they get it with a very low expectation as to what this is and what it's going to do for them. They're more doing it for you. But by the end of it, they're like, oh, wow, I got a lot out of this. Yeah. Oh, wow, I actually got results.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I actually feel really good. Oh, wow, I
lost 10 pounds.
How do I get more? You know? And so that can be a super easy segue into just having somebody that at least is an accountability partner.
You and would do anything with you.
Totally.
And for you.
Totally. Yeah. And it's not pushy. It's literally just you being like, hey, I just want to do this with somebody, because you're going to want to do this
because you know how much it's going to bless their lives.
Yeah. And that too. That too. They just don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet.
They just don't know it yet. So that is pretty much a wrap for tonight. We wanted to just make sure we went thoroughly through that. The next questions that you might have are, okay, where do I get this assessment? Where is this assessment going to be located? And we're going to give you the deets. Adiana and I are going to be working on the video portion of it. And we pretty much already have the assessment already pretty much done.
Yeah. You can use the assessment in the interim until we put the 2 together.
Yeah. Especially if somebody already knows what you're doing and, you know, how you've lost the weight, how you've gained weight, whatever the case may be, you know, they don't really need to know. They just literally need to know, hey, we're doing isogenics nutrition. You know, we're going to be doing this protocol with, you know, personal trainers, fitness experts, nutritionists, and there's workouts, there's meal guidance, there's accountability, there's support, there's
prizes, it's fun.
Exactly. You know, and we're going to have a lot of fun. You know, all we have to do is just get our nutritional products. you know, so it's simple, but we're going to make a video for those, especially that don't maybe know what you guys are doing, so that they know, you know, what you've been a part of and what has been blessing you and your lives. And hopefully you have the gift and the ability to share it with some other people. So we love you guys. Let us know if you have questions.
Love you guys.
We can reach out. I just know it's getting late, so I want to just maybe take this time right now. But please, please, please shoot us messages after this. We're more than happy. You know that we got you guys. We pretty much respond pretty promptly to all of you guys. But let us know if there's anything that's on your heart that you feel heavy with. If you have any questions about this upcoming challenge, if we went through something a little too fast, we'll have the recording and you can literally just watch this. And I'm just going to end the recording real quick. I think Dina's got a question and then we'll call it.